Alright, so you know how sometimes the craziest moments in sports media happen when people don't know the cameras are still rolling? That's exactly what happened today, and I am still shaking, so here's what went down. Rob Pelinka, the Lakers general manager, was at ESPN headquarters in Bristol for a scheduled interview on SportsCenter about the Lakers' offseason plans. This is normal. GMs do media rounds after the season. They talk about the draft, free agency, all that corporate stuff. The interview with Scott Van Pelt was fine, professional, boring actually. Pelinka talked about how the sweep at the hands of the Thunder was humbling, how Luka Doncic's hamstring rehab is going well, how LeBron James hasn't made a decision about his future yet, standard. But here's the thing. When the segment ended, when the red light on the camera was supposed to go off, when the hot mic was supposed to be cut, Pelinka turned to someone off camera, maybe an assistant, maybe another executive who was with him, and said something that wasn't supposed to be broadcast. But it was, because the audio was still live on the ESPN Plus stream that runs between segments. And what Rob Pelinka said in that moment has sent the entire NBA into an absolute frenzy. I got the clip. I've watched it 17 times. And Laker Nation, I need you to sit down, lock in, and let me walk you through every word, because this changes everything about the Lakers summer. Hey, what's up everyone? Real quick before we get into everything. That like button is literally what determines if this reaches hundreds or thousands of fans. Takes 1 second, but makes a huge impact on the channel's growth. Just smash that like button right now. It's the easiest thing you can do, but honestly, the biggest way to support this content. Every single like pushes this further, so hit it now. Here's what Pelinka said on the hot mic, and I'm quoting directly from the audio because every word matters. Listen, the Giannis thing is complicated. Milwaukee wants too much, but LaMelo is real. Charlotte will deal him. The trade kicker makes it tricky, but we can work around it. If LeBron walks, that cap space plus the picks, we can build a Luka and LaMelo backcourt that runs this league for the next decade. Call Jeff Schwartz. Let's get this moving. Bro Barrow, the Lakers general manager, just accidentally told the world that they're pursuing LaMelo Ball from the Charlotte Hornets. Not Giannis Antetokounmpo, who everyone has been talking about. LaMelo Ball, the 24-year-old all-star point guard who averaged 20.1 points and 1 assist this season while playing 57 games, his healthiest season since his second year in the league. The kid from Chino Hills, California. The Ball family prodigal son, the most electrifying passer in the NBA, not named Nikola Jokic. And Pelinka said it like it was a done deal in his mind. Charlotte will deal him. Those 4 words are gonna shake the basketball world. Now, let me break down why this makes so much sense, because when I started processing the implications, my brain nearly exploded. First, LaMelo Ball is from Southern California, born and raised. Chino Hills. The Ball family legacy in Los Angeles is massive. LeVar Ball turned his sons into global brands before LaMelo was even old enough to drive. Lonzo Ball was drafted by the Lakers in 2017, and the Ball family circus was the biggest story in LA for 2 straight years. But that was Lonzo. Lonzo was the older brother, the one who wasn't quite ready for the Hollywood spotlight. LaMelo is different. LaMelo has the talent, the charisma, the social media presence, and the game to be the face of the Los Angeles Lakers in the post-LeBron era. This isn't just a basketball move. This is a brand move. This is a Showtime move, and Rob Pelinka knows it. Second, the basketball fit is genuinely extraordinary. Luka Doncic averaged 33.5 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 8.3 assists this season. He's the best offensive player in the NBA. But here's the problem the Thunder exposed in the playoff sweep. When Luka was out with the hamstring injury, the Lakers had no secondary playmaker. Nobody who could create offense at a high level. Austin Reeves is a good player, but he's not a primary creator. LeBron filled that role when he was on the court, but he's 41 and might not come back. LaMelo Ball is one of the most gifted passers in basketball history. His court vision is supernatural. He throws passes that shouldn't be physically possible. A backcourt of Luka Doncic and LaMelo Ball would be the most creative, most entertaining, most unpredictable offensive pairing the league has ever seen. The no-look passes, the pull-up threes from 30 feet, the lobs, the bounce passes, the full-court bombs in transition. Every single game would be a highlight reel. Let me tell you something about LaMelo that people don't understand. Pelinka continued on the hot mic, and now his voice was more animated, more passionate. This kid is 6'7", 6'7" as a point guard. He can see over every defender. He can shoot over switches. He can rebound his own position. And he's only 24 years old. Luka is 27. You pair those two together and you have a decade of championship caliber basketball. Not 1 year, not a 2-year window, a decade. And in the Western Conference, with Wembanyama and SGA, and everyone else getting better, we need that kind of timeline. Giannis gives you 3 years, maybe 4. LaMelo gives you 10. That last part is the most revealing thing Pelinka said. He's thinking long term. He's not just looking at the 2027 season. He's building for the next era of Lakers basketball. And LaMelo Ball, at 24, with his talent level and his LA roots, is the perfect foundational piece to pair with Doncic for the foreseeable future. Now, here's where it gets financially interesting, and this is where Pelinka's comment about LeBron becomes critical. LeBron James is a free agent. If LeBron decides to retire or sign elsewhere, the Lakers suddenly have significant cap flexibility. LaMelo's contract pays him approximately $40. $7 million next season, with 3 more guaranteed years after that, totaling over $130 million. That's a lot of money. Plus, he has a 15% trade kicker, meaning Charlotte would need to absorb an additional cost in any deal. But Pelinka specifically said, the trade kicker makes it tricky, but we can work around it. That means the Lakers front office has already done the salary cap math. They've already figured out a pathway to make this work. And the pathway almost certainly involves LeBron James not being on the roster. Think about what that means. The Lakers might be choosing LaMelo Ball over LeBron James, the franchise that LeBron James chose to come to in 2018. The franchise he delivered a championship in 2020. The franchise where he set every conceivable old man scoring record. They might be letting LeBron walk so they can pair Luka Doncic with LaMelo Ball. That is the most seismic roster decision in Lakers history since they traded Shaq to Miami, and Pelinka just accidentally revealed it on a hot mic. But the implications go even deeper. Charlotte's willingness to deal LaMelo is rooted in a very real conflict that's been simmering all season. Head coach Charles Lee implemented a deliberate half-court offensive system that clashes with LaMelo's desire to push the pace and play in transition. Reports from Yahoo Sports' Kelly Iko indicated early in the season that LaMelo had grown increasingly frustrated with the organization and was open to a trade. A Western Conference executive told ESPN that Ball is unserious despite his talent. The Hornets front office, with Brandon Miller averaging 20.2 points and rookie sensation Con Knuppel emerging as a legitimate star, has begun building around those two wings rather than Ball. The Hornets finished 44-38 and made the play-in tournament. They beat the Heat 127-126 in a thrilling overtime game where LaMelo scored 30 points and 10 assists, including the game-winning layup with 4.7 seconds left. But then they got demolished by the Magic 121-90 in the next play-in game and their season was over. And that pattern, exciting regular season followed by postseason disappointment, has defined LaMelo's entire career in Charlotte. He's never made the actual playoffs. He's never been past the play-in. He's 24 years old with a Rookie of the Year award and an All-Star selection and 0 playoff wins. Something has to change, and the Lakers represent that change. LaMelo in LA wouldn't just be a basketball transaction. It would be the biggest cultural event in the NBA since LeBron's decision. The Ball family returning to Hollywood, the Showtime Lakers reborn with a backcourt that averages 50 points and 15 assists per game between them. The marketing possibilities are endless. Luka and LaMelo, the Slovenian maestro and the California showman, Nike, ESPN, social media, everything would revolve around that backcourt. And here's the thing about the Showtime comparison. Pelinka said on the hot mic, getting more animated. Magic Johnson was a 6-9 point guard who could do everything. LaMelo is a 6-7 point guard who can do everything. Magic ran the fast break better than anyone. LaMelo runs the fast break better than anyone in today's NBA. You put LaMelo in the purple and gold, running the break, throwing no-look passes to Luka on the wing, and you have the most entertaining team in basketball. That's not just wins, that's culture. That's what this franchise is supposed to be. We've been boring. We've been a LeBron carries everyone team for 6 years. It's time to be the Showtime Lakers again. The person Pelinka was talking to asked about the trade package, and Pelinka's response was swift. Charlotte wants young players and picks. We have Dalton Knecht, we have Bronny, we have Adotiero, we have Nick Smith Jr., and we have 3 tradable first rounders. That's not Giannis money, but it's enough for a player Charlotte wants to move. The 15% trade kicker adds about $6 million to the deal, but we can absorb that if LeBron's off the books. This is doable, this isn't a fantasy. This is a realistic, executable trade that could happen before the draft. And that is when the ESPN production team apparently realized the mic was still hot because the audio cut abruptly, but the damage, or rather the revelation, was already done. The clip spread across social media within minutes. Every NBA reporter was scrambling to confirm. Within an hour, Shams Charania had tweeted that the Lakers have indeed had preliminary conversations with the Hornets about Ball's availability. Laker Nation, let me tell you what this means for the franchise. If this trade happens, and based on what Pelinka said, it's a when, not an IF, the Lakers are pivoting from a win now with veterans approach to a young superstar pairing that could dominate the Western Conference for the next decade. Luka at 27 and LaMelo at 24, surrounded by whatever roster Pelinka builds with the remaining cap space, is a championship core that can compete with Wembanyama and the Spurs, with SGA and the Thunder, with anyone. But it also means saying goodbye to LeBron James. And for a franchise that owes so much to LeBron, that's a painful reality. It means Austin Reeves might be trade bait to make the salary work. It means JJ Redick's coaching system needs to adapt to 2 ball-dominant guards who want to push the pace. It means the Lakers are betting their future on a player that an NBA executive called unserious and who hasn't played more than 72 games in a season in his career until this year. Hit that comment section right now. Should the Lakers trade for LaMelo Ball? Would you sacrifice LeBron's return for a Luka-LaMelo backcourt? Is LaMelo's injury history too much of a risk? Because this offseason just went from Giannis sweepstakes to something nobody saw coming. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, because when this trade drops, and it will drop, you need to be here. Laker Nation, the Showtime era might be coming back, and I am not ready for how crazy this summer is about to be. I'll catch you on the next one. Stay locked in.